Так, sizlarga ovoz chiqish shartmasa? Yo'q, sizlar eshitasiz.
Administratsiya ma'lumotlar hamisha pishdan ochilmadi hali qabul maytligida maxsus komissiya o'shanda UA зеленая зона волосы. Поэтому, кстати, сегодня
Участник админ, можете, пожалуйста, представиться? Я вас должен правильно переименовать в списке участников.
This is Shoshil. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Nigar of Uzbekistan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and how are you?
For joining us.
Very well.
Good morning. How are you?
Very fine.
Добрый день.
Добрый день. Всем.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Добрый день.
Салам алейкум, Абдулас Хафизович.
Иза.
Assalamu alaikum. Здравствуйте всем. Good afternoon to everybody.
Наш Узбекистан, да?
No, they can hear.
Pandemiya министр иностранных дел санкций. Обращаюсь к президенту. Завтра искать начали, да? Ну, вы же любите у нас. Чего? Тот раз представление. Да, нужно идти. Карантин пройдет, много у вас таких будет там даже. Понимаете, что отказаться. Сейчас же все же держится. Полгода же мы же ничего делать не можем. Представляете, сейчас как все это откроется, кет на кет будет кидать информацию.
Всем добрый день. Good afternoon.
Today, we face a global pandemic, and worldwide, people rightly raise their voices against racism. Confronting problems is a start. but we also have to solve them. We have a timeless guide to tackle our shared challenges and fix the world's fragilities. The guide is the United Nations Charter. The Charter was signed 75 years ago, and its principles ring just as true today. Facing fundamental human rights, the equal rights of men and women, the dignity and worth of every person, international law and the peaceful settlement of disputes, better standards of life in larger freedom. These enduring values will carry us to a new future. A future where we stop harming the natural environment and start tackling climate change. Where we reject bigotry and celebrate the richness of human diversity. Where young people lead in the streets, in their schools, in society. The United Nations was founded before threats like cybercrime and online hate speech emerged. But our Charter shows how to rise to these challenges too. Let us realize this vision of peace, human rights and justice for everyone by joining together with humanity, with unity, with each other.
Ana texniklar sizlar tayyorsizlar? Podключат qilindimi hammasi? Keyin menga kimlar qanday qilganini bir bilib beringlar. Alhamdulillah, qalay? Tabriklayman sizni milliy strategiya bilan. Вот мы начинаем она. Команда o'tiribdi mana. Это исламское организация исламское сотрудничество. Mana Az Hafiz o'tiribdilar mana. Assalomu alaykum, ko'rganimdan xursandman juda ham. Ришар, я приветствую тебя. Я рад тебя видеть. Вот. Нью-Йорк bo'ladi bu yerda hozir, Женева bo'ladi, Bishkek, Jidda bo'ladi. Texnik tayyor desanglar, boshlayman. Texnik qanaqalarimiz qani? Boshlasak bo'ladimi? Ha? Assalomu alaykum muhtaram bugungi xalqaro forum ishtirokchilari. Muhtarama O'zbekiston Respublikasi Oliy Majlisi Senati raisi Tanzila Kamalovna. Hurmatli O'zbekiston Respublikasi Tashqi ishlar vaziri Abdulaziz Komilov janoblari. Hurmatli Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibining o'rinbosari hamda BMT tashkil topgan kunning 75 yilligini nishonlashga tayyorgarlik ko'rish bo'yicha maxsus maslahatchisi Fabrizio Hochschild janoblari. Muhtarama Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibining o'rinbosari, Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining Jenevadagi bo'limi bosh direktori Tatyana Valovaya xonim. Muhtarama Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibining maxsus vakili, Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining Markaziy Osiyoda preventiv diplomatiya bo'yicha mintaqaviy markazi rahbari Natalya German xonim. Hurmatli xalqaro tashkilotlar rahbarlari va vakillari. Hurmatli Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining O'zbekistondagi doimiy vakili Helena Fraser xonim. O'zbekistonda akkreditatsiya qilingan diplomatik korpus vakillari, muhtaram elchilar, hurmatli parlament a'zolari, deputatlar, senatorlar, hurmatli hukumat a'zolari, ministrlar, konstitutsiyaviy sud va oliy sud rahbarlari, xonimlar va janoblar. O'zbekiston va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlariga erishish yo'lidagi hamkorligiga bag'ishlangan xalqaro forumning barcha ishtirokchilari va mehmonlarini ushbu anjuman tashkilotchilari nomidan samimiy qutlayman. Bugungi tadbirimiz Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti ustavi roppa-rosa 75 yil oldin imzolangan tarixiy kunda o'tmoqda. Anjumanda Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti va ushbu nufuzli tashkilotning butun dunyodagi tuzilmalaridan oliy darajadagi vakillar ishtirok etayotganida hamda bugungi anjuman yer yuzidagi insonlarning hayotini yaxshilash uchun global hamkorlikning muhimligini alohida ta'kidlashga xizmat qilishida o'ziga xos ramziy ma'noga ega. Ushbu xalqaro forumda ishtirok etayotganlar uchun Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti va uning ixtisoslashgan muassasalari, UNESCO, Xalqaro mehnat tashkiloti, Jahon sog'liqni saqlash tashkiloti, migratsiya masalalari bo'yicha xalqaro tashkilot, UNICEF, UNFA, Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti rivojlanish dasturi hamda Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining inson huquqlari bo'yicha oliy komissiyasi boshqarmasi, Yevropada xavfsizlik va hamkorlik tashkiloti, Islom hamkorlik tashkiloti hamda boshqa hamkor tashkilotlarning oliy darajadagi vakillariga, yetakchi ekspertlarga, O'zbekistonda akkreditatsiya qilingan diplomatik vakolatxonalar rahbarlariga minnatdorchilik izhor etamiz. Bugungi kunda Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti dunyodagi yagona, tom ma'noda universal xalqaro tashkilot hisoblanadi. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining asoschilaridan biri, Britaniyalik davlat arbobi, Nobel mukofoti laureati sohibi Sir Winston Churchill qayd etganidek, biz Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotini arshi a'lodan yoki jannatdan joy olishimizga yordami tegar degan ilinjda emas, balki bizni do'zaxdan xalos etishi uchun tuzganmiz deb aytgan edi. Bundan 28 yil oldin yangi, suveren, mustaqil davlat O'zbekiston Respublikasi Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining teng huquqli a'zosiga aylandi. Shundan buyon biz o'z masalalarimizni hal qilishda har doim Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining ko'magiga tayanib kelmoqdamiz. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibi Antonio Guterres janoblari haqli ta'kidlaganidek, oldimizda turgan muammolarni hech bir mamlakat, hech qaysi jamiyat yakka holda hal eta olmaydi va shuning uchun barcha sa'y-harakatlarimizni birlashtirishimiz zarur. Biz nafaqat so'zlashimiz, balki tinglashimiz ham lozim. O'zbekiston prezidenti muhtaram Shavkat Mirziyoyev ta'kidlaganidek, O'zbekiston Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tuzilmalari bilan yaqin hamkorlikni davom ettiradi. O'zbekiston Respublikasi Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibi chaqirig'iga javoban Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tashkil topganiga 75 yil to'lishi munosabati bilan Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti 75 yoshda kelajakka nigoh mavzuidagi turkum global munozaralarni uyushtirmoqda. Bugun biz ana shu global munozaralarning birinchisini o'tkazmoqdamiz. Ushbu xalqaro forumni O'zbekiston va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlariga erishish yo'lidagi hamkorlik deb nomladik. Bugungi xalqaro forumni asosiy tashkilotchilari bu Oliy Majlis palatalari, O'zbekiston Respublikasi Tashqi ishlar vazirligi va inson huquqlari bo'yicha milliy markaz bo'lib hisoblanadi. Xalqaro tomondan esa Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining O'zbekistondagi doimiy vakili bo'lib hisoblanadi. Bugungi forumni biz 3 tilda, o'zbek tilida va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining 2 ta rasmiy tili, ingliz va rus tillarida olib boramiz. Xonimlar va janoblar, ijozatingiz bilan bugungi xalqaro forumning rasmiy ochilish qismiga o'tsak. Men mamnuniyat bilan O'zbekiston Respublikasi prezidenti Shavkat Mirziyoyev janobi oliylarining forum ishtirokchilariga tabrigini O'zbekiston parlamenti senatining raisi Norboyeva Tanzila Kamolovna o'qib eshittiradi. Marhamat Tanzila Kamolovna.
Rahmat Akmal Xalmatovich. Assalomu alaykum. Barcha forum ishtirokchilari. O'zbekiston va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti barqaror taraqqiyot maqsadlariga erishish yo'lida hamkorlik mavzusidagi xalqaro forum ishtirokchilariga, hurmatli forum qatnashchilari, xonimlar va janoblar. O'zbekiston va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining barqaror taraqqiyot maqsadlariga erishish yo'lidagi hamkorligi kabi dolzarb mavzuga bag'ishlangan xalqaro forumning barcha ishtirokchilarini samimiy qutlash menga katta mamnuniyat bag'ishlaydi. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibi Antonio Guterres janoblariga Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining 75 yilligi kelajakka nigoh deb nomlangan turkum global muzokaralar doirasida tashkil etilayotgan mazkur forumni o'tkazish haqidagi tashabbusni qo'llab-quvvatlagani uchun chuqur minnatdorlik bildiraman. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tuzilgan 1945-yildan buyon o'tgan davr mobaynida bu tashkilot xalqaro miqyosda tinchlik va xavfsizlikni saqlash, barqaror taraqqiyotni ta'minlash, inson huquqlarini himoya qilish va rag'batlantirish borasida markaziy rol o'ynaydigan tom ma'nodagi universal xalqaro tuzilmaga aylandi. O'zbekiston bosh kotib Antonio Guterresning BMTni zamonaviy talablar asosida isloh qilishga qaratilgan sa'y harakatlarini to'la qo'llab-quvvatlaydi. Bugungi kunda tashkilot oldida butun insoniyat uchun o'ta muhim ahamiyatga ega bo'lgan dolzarb vazifalar turibdi. Bular turli mojarolarni hal qilish, xalqaro terrorizm va ekstremizmga qarshi kurashish, iqlim o'zgarishlari oqibatlarini bartaraf etish, pandemiyalarning tarqalib ketishiga yo'l qo'ymaslik, barqaror ijtimoiy-iqtisodiy taraqqiyotni ta'minlash kabi vazifalardir. Afsuski, biz Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining 75 yillik yubileyini misli ko'rilmagan tahdidlar sharoitida nishonlashimizga to'g'ri kelmoqda. Yangi ko'rinishdagi koronavirus pandemiyasi nafaqat sog'liqni saqlash, balki iqtisodiy, ijtimoiy va gumanitar sohalarda g'oyat og'ir inqirozga olib keldi. Bunday murakkab holatdan chiqariladigan asosiy saboq shundan iboratki, bu ofat jahondagi barcha mamlakatlar bir-biri bilan uzviy bog'lanib ketganini yana bir bor namoyish etdi. Biz BMTning tarkibiy tuzilmalari, jumladan Jahon Sog'liqni saqlash tashkilotining koronavirusga qarshi kurashga qaratilgan sa'y harakatlarini qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Bu borada zarur chora-tadbirlar majmuasini amalga oshirishda mamlakatimizga ko'rsatgan amaliy yordami va qimmatli tavsiyalari uchun mazkur tashkilotga samimiy minnatdorlik bildiramiz. Hurmatli forum ishtirokchilari, O'zbekiston BMTning nizomi, inson huquqlari butunjahon deklaratsiyasi va boshqa asosiy xalqaro shartnomalarning maqsad va tamoyillariga sodiq hamda o'z zimmamizga olgan majburiyatlarimizni og'ishmasdan bajarib kelmoqdamiz. Bu biz amalga oshirayotgan 2017-2021 yillarga mo'ljallangan milliy harakatlar strategiyasining eng muhim yo'nalishlaridan biridir. So'nggi yillarda O'zbekistonning tashabbusi bilan BMT Bosh Assambleyasining Markaziy Osiyo bo'yicha ma'rifat va diniy bag'rikenglik, mintaqamizda sayyohlikni barqaror rivojlantirish bo'yicha rezolyutsiyalari qabul qilindi. Yangi tashabbuslar va qo'shma loyihalarni ilgari surish maqsadida biz tashkilot bilan o'zaro hamkorlikni yanada rivojlantirish bo'yicha yo'l xaritasini ishlab chiqdik va amalga oshirmoqdamiz. Uning to'liq ro'yobga chiqarilishi munosabatlarimizni yangi, yanada yuqori bosqichga olib chiqishga xizmat qiladi. So'zimning yakunida BMT tashkil etilganining 75 yillik yubileyi bilan barchangizni yana bir bor tabriklayman. Bugungi kunda ayniqsa jahon hamjamiyati vujudga kelgan yangi vaziyatga moslashishi uchun bor kuch va imkoniyatlarni faollashtirishi talab etilayotgan hozirgi paytda ushbu tashkilot o'ta muhim ahamiyatga ega ekanini ta'kidlashni istar edim. Forumning barcha ishtirokchilariga muvaffaqiyatlar va samarali faoliyat olib borishlarini tilab qolaman. O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti Shavkat Mirziyoyev.
Rahmat Tanzila Kamolovna, muhtaram forum ishtirokchilari, mana O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti Shavkat Mirziyoyevning forum ishtirokchilariga murojaatini eshitdik. Chunki prezidentimiz bosh kotibning mana shu Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining 75 yilligiga bag'ishlangan chaqiruvga asosan amaliy tashkil etilgan bu tadbir bo'lib hisoblanadi. Endi bugungi anjumanni, bugungi forumni moderatorlari O'zbekiston tomonidan men va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tomonidan Helena Fraser xonim hisoblanadi. Marhamat Helena Fraser xonim, men sizga so'z beraman.
Hurmatli Oliy Majlisi Senati Raisi muhtaram xonim Tanzila Norboyeva, hurmatli akademik Akmal Saidov, muhtaram janob Abdulaziz Kamilov, aziz do'stlar, barchangizni Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining nizomiy qabul qilingan kun bilan tabriklayman. Distinguished colleagues, dear friends, happy UN Charter Day and welcome to this important event. I'm thrilled to see such an array of distinguished partners and friends participating. And I'm also excited that we are live streaming this event on YouTube. I hope many young people, including our UN country team Youth Advisory Board, are watching. If so, Salom Yoshlar. Ladies and gentlemen, I am...
tarjimani chiqarmayapsizlar. Bu Abdulla bu?
Can you hear me okay? Okay. Хорошо. Thank you. Before we start...
Okay, Helena.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I would like to commend the leadership, ownership, and engagement of the government of Uzbekistan in promoting the core values of the UN Charter as symbolized in the adoption this week of an ambitious roadmap outlining commitments to deepen and strengthen Uzbekistan's partnership with the UN system at all levels. I also welcome, on behalf of the UN country team, the government's robust commitment to Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals. Over the few months since Madam Tanzila Kamalovna Narbayeva helped to launch our joint Decade of Action campaign in the framework of UN 75, the COVID-19 pandemic has not slowed the government's commitment to both multilateralism and the SDGs, but has rather accelerated it, as I'm sure today's proceedings will demonstrate. In particular, I want to highlight our strong collaboration with the Senate, the Legislative Chamber of the Oliy Majlis, the Cabinet of Ministers, the General Prosecutor's Office, the Supreme Court, and civil society organizations, as well as initiative groups, human rights defenders, and the media in implementing and monitoring the nationally adopted Sustainable Development Goals. A recent highlight was the unprecedented public stakeholder consultations for Uzbekistan's first voluntary national review, organized online this year during the pandemic, together with our partner Yükseliş. Let me also, before I close, thank the particular champions of the SDGs who have led the 6 thematic SDG groups: the Ministry of Economic Development and Poverty Reduction, which leads on livelihoods, the General Prosecutor's Office and GPO Academy for governance, the Ministry of Finance for social protection, the Ministry of Public Education for education, the Ministry of Health, with whom we've forged such a deep partnership these past months for healthcare, and the State Committee for Ecology for the environment. And I would also like to thank our close partners in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who facilitate every day our strong partnership with Uzbekistan. And now I have the honor to introduce the UN Secretary General's message on the occasion of UN 75. Thank you. Kata Rahmat.
Mr. President of the General Assembly, Excellencies, I send my warmest greetings to we the peoples. Those first 3 words of our founding charter, adopted 75 years ago today, give the United Nations its vision and its mission. We exist to serve people, and we work as one for the benefit of all. The Charter was adopted as the Second World War was in its final months and winding down. We mark the anniversary of that milestone as global pressures are spiraling up. The Charter brought rules and hope to a world in ruins. It remains our touchstone for a world mired in a pandemic, torn by discrimination, endangered by climate change, and scared by poverty, inequality, and war. Agreement on the Charter closed one era and opened another. Gone were the genocidal Nazi regime and their allies. In came the prospect of human rights. Out went rampant nationalism and precarious balance of power that produced 2 catastrophic world wars. In came the promise of collective security and the peaceful resolution of disputes. And where an earliest attempt at international organization dissolved, the new United Nations started life on firmer ground, built on norms and the lessons of hard experience. The post-war multilateral arrangements have compiled a solid record of service, saving millions of lives, advancing the human condition, and fulfilling its cardinal task of preventing World War III. But there have been painful setbacks, and today's realities are as forbidding as ever. COVID-19 has touched everyone, everywhere, precisely the kind of global challenge for which the United Nations was founded. At the same time, people continue to lose trust in political establishments. Today's marches against racism were preceded by widespread protests against inequality, discrimination, corruption, and lack of opportunities all over the world, grievances that still need to be addressed, including with a renewed social contract. Meanwhile, other fundamental fragilities have only grown. The climate crisis, environmental degradation, cyber attacks, nuclear proliferation, a pushback on human rights, and the risk of another pandemic. It's not difficult to imagine a new virus transmitted as easily as COVID-19, but as deadly as Ebola. The delegates in San Francisco in 1945, having themselves lived through a global pandemic, depression, and war, seized their opportunity to plant the seeds of something better and new. Today, we must do the same. To achieve that watershed moment, we need to reimagine multilateralism, give it teeth to function as the founders intended, and ensure that effective global governance is a reality when it is needed. We must also bring others to the table in an inclusive and networked multilateralism, since governments are only part of today's political realities. Civil society, cities, the private sector, and young people are essential voices in shaping the world we want. Like those who drafted the Charter, we must look without illusion at today's injustices, their roots, and the suffering they engender. Yet, there is also much to encourage us and drive us onward. The heroism and solidarity of the pandemic response, the global embrace of the Sustainable Development Goals, the millions of young activists and global citizens pushing to advance equality, climate action, a green economy, and to take control of their destiny. I'm inspired by so much that has been built and achieved across 75 years. I pay tribute to the service and sacrifice of thousands of United Nations peacekeepers, staff, and others who across the world and across the years gave their lives while advancing the causes and values of the United Nations. The Charter's vision stands the test of time and its values will continue to carry us forward. Now is the time to persevere, press ahead, pursue our goals, show responsibility for our world, and take care of each other. It is up to us to rise to the test of this pivotal moment for our future. Thank you.
Muhtaram forum ishtirokchilari, mana Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibi Antonio Guterres janobi oliylarining murojaatlarini eshitdik. Bugungi bizni anjumanga, forumga yana bir qator Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining yuqori darajadagi vakillari ham o'zlari murojaat qilishmoqchi. Shuning uchun fursatdan foydalanib men Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti bosh kotibining o'rinbosari va Birlashgan Millatlar tashkil topgan kunning 75 yilligini nishonlashga tayyorgarlik ko'rish bo'yicha maxsus maslahatchisi Fabrizio Hochschild janoblarining tabrigini eshitishga taklif etaman. Marhamat.
Thank you so much. Honorable Madam Rabeva, Chair of the Senate, Honorable Professor Saidov, First Deputy Speaker of the Legislative Chamber, Excellency Minister Kabilov, Madam Director General and dear colleague, Madam Valovaya, Special Representative, and my esteemed colleague, Natalia German, my dear friend and the outstanding resident coordinator, Helena Fraser. Dear UN colleagues and friends, it's really a pleasure to be with you and warm greetings. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to speak to you on this day, exactly when 75 years ago, the UN Charter was signed in San Francisco. Through the UN Charter, the United Nations 193 member and observer states have made a solemn commitment to work together to prevent war, uphold fundamental rights, and achieve development. The history of the Uzbek people is closely tied to the origins of the United Nations. As part of the then Soviet Union, you felt the burden and devastation and suffering of the Second World War. And then, after 1945, you shared in the hopes for peace and a better future. For decades, you were part of the Cold War that dominated most of the first half century of the UN's history. And now, since 1992, for almost 30 years, you've taken your own path as a fully fledged member of our family of nations. Globally, over the past 7.5 decades, the UN has contributed to its purpose of maintaining global peace and avoiding superpower confrontation. Working together, the United Nations has also helped reduce poverty on a massive scale, educate tens of millions of children, provide humanitarian aid for tens of millions who were forced to flee their homes. Overall, across the world, in the past 7 decades, we've witnessed, with the help of the United Nations, steady progress. But now, many say, we've reached a pivotal moment. Today, the outlook for the world is to a certain extent as fraught with insecurity and uncertainty as it was 75 years ago. Continued progress is far from certain, with increasing inequality, the threat of climate change, and disruption from demographic shifts and an accelerating digital revolution that is moving faster than we are able to steer it. None of these megatrends can be met by any one country on their own, however large, however powerful, however rich. One would expect countries to cooperate more closely to meet these challenges in the spirit of the UN Charter. But disunity too often prevails, with a resurgence of great power rivalries, and all too often the perception of a contradiction between the pursuit of national interests and multilateral solutions, leading to a worrisome retreat from the use and support of UN mechanisms. COVID-19 has laid fault lines bare. It has widened the divide between the haves and the have-nots, also in the digital domain. It has made the gap grow between those who have access to healthcare and jobs and those who don't. Recovering from COVID and building back better is an enormous task that needs solidarity at the community and national levels, but also critically internationally. Sadly, at the international level, solidarity and unity of purpose have not yet characterized our efforts to mitigate globally the effects of the pandemic. But the blueprint for recovery is there, and the roadmap for recovering better is ready. It's called Agenda 2030, the subject of these discussions, the Sustainable Development Goals. With common resolve that together we can meet the challenge, it is possible to achieve the future we want and the United Nations we need. At this critical moment in history, the Secretary General decided to mark the 75th anniversary of the United Nations not with celebrations, but to use it as a moment of pause and reflection, to listen to people from across the world, especially from young people, to hear their aspirations on what they consider important for achieving a better world by 2045, when the United Nations will have its 100th birthday. We want to learn what people's aspirations are for our world, what obstacles they see, and what advice they wish to pass on to the Secretary General of the UN. The responses from Uzbekistan have been impressive. We already see from our UN 75 one-minute survey results overwhelming support from Uzbekistan for international cooperation to meet our challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, Uzbekistan has been accelerating its international engagement quite remarkably over the last few years, both regionally and on the global stage. In this polarized world of today, we can learn from Uzbekistan, from the way you are finding your path to multi-party democracy and pluralism, from your experience in engaging regionally to meet common challenges such as environmental protection, and recently to better deal with COVID-19, and from your experience in operating in a context with competing superpower rivalry not far. I'm aware that just in the course of the past week, Uzbekistan has once again demonstrated its commitment to multilateralism and to the aspirations of the UN Charter. In particular, I commend the adoption of the action plan on the development of cooperation with the UN and its specialized institutions. Also this week, His Excellency, the President of Uzbekistan, adopted an ambitious national human rights strategy, committing to implement the recommendations of the UN human rights treaty bodies, which are headquartered here in Geneva, from where I'm speaking. And just 2 days ago, Uzbekistan submitted its first voluntary national review outlining progress towards the National Sustainable Development Goals, in yet another concrete demonstration of the country's commitment to Agenda 2030. And I'm also so happy to confirm that this week, Uzbekistan ranks second in the Europe and Central Asia region and third globally for mobilizing citizens' engagement in the Secretary General's global survey that I mentioned before about the future we want and the UN we need. And that achievement is all the more remarkable because on a per capita basis, Uzbekistan is leading the world in joining in the UN 75 initiative and in mapping priorities to determine the work of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, and as our Secretary General has repeatedly stated, now more than ever, global solidarity and collective action are vital. COVID-19 must be a wake-up call like the Second World War was 75 years ago. In responding to the pandemic and all our current global challenges, from climate change to international terrorism, from poverty and inequality to cybersecurity, we require greater unity and solidarity and a greater shared common vision. So as we embark on this high-level dialogue, which covers all aspects of the UN's mandates, let me thank the government and people of Uzbekistan for your commitment to working together to build a more peaceful, prosperous, resilient, and sustainable world. Kata Rahmat. Thank you.
Rahmat, xo'sh janob oliylari, avvalambor bugungi bizni xalqaro forumda ishtirokingiz uchun samimiy minnatdorchilik bildiramiz. Undan tashqari, mana shu O'zbekistonda so'nggi yillarda amalga oshirilayotgan islohotlarga baho. Ayniqsa so'nggi eng oxirgi o'zgarishlarni O'zbekiston prezidenti tomonidan imzolangan inson huquqlari bo'yicha milliy strategiyani qabul qilinganligi va bu yerdagi o'zgarishlarni, ayniqsa global liderlikka intilishni e'tirof etganingiz uchun yana bir marta samimiy minnatdorchilik bildiramiz. Juda ham to'g'ri ta'kidlandingiz, bizga hozir global birdamlik va umumiy kelajagimiz uchun birlashishimiz kerak. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining 75 yillik an'anasi bo'ladigan tadbirlar mana shu kuchlarimizni birlashtirishga xizmat qiladi. Men bunga ishonaman. Muhtaram xalqaro anjuman ishtirokchilari, теперь позвольте мне предоставить слово заместителю генерального секретаря Организации Объединенных Наций, генеральному директору отделения ООН в Женеве Татьяне Дмитриевне Головой. Татьяна Дмитриевна, пожалуйста, вам.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья, дорогие коллеги, ваше превосходительство, дамы и господа. Я очень рада, что я сегодня участвую в этой конференции и имею возможность хотя бы виртуально оказаться в Узбекистане, в стране, в которой я очень много раз бывала и которую я очень-очень люблю. И, конечно, особенно приятно, что Узбекистан взял такую очень серьезную инициативу организации на своей территории, на своей площадке вместе с гражданами Узбекистана, вместе с правительственными и иными структурами, вместе со структурами ООН на территории Узбекистана, целую сеть разговоров, посвященных как раз будущему мира, будущему многосторонней системы сотрудничества. И, конечно, это исключительно важно, поскольку, как мы все знаем, до завершения реализации повестки дня в области устойчивого развития, которая рассчитана на период до 2030 года, остается всего 10 лет. Мы сейчас вступили в декаду действий. И сегодняшнее мероприятие – это прекрасная возможность обсудить роль Узбекистана в Организации Объединенных Наций, а также усилия в достижении целей устойчивого развития. Как уже сегодня говорилось, мы живем в переломный момент зарождения новой социально-экономической парадигмы. Драматические последствия пандемии COVID-19 только усиливают этот момент. И в настоящее время, как никогда остро, ощущается необходимость в глобальном диалоге и в глобальных действиях, а также в объединении усилий для лучшего восстановления мира от последствий пандемии. Множество других глобальных вызовов также требуют незамедлительных мер. Для решения трансграничных проблем, таких как изменение климата, миграция, неравенство или конфликты, а также изменения в технологиях и народонаселении, необходимы решительные действия всех заинтересованных сторон. Если мы не предпримем действия сейчас, их долгосрочное воздействие будет еще более разрушительным, чем пандемия COVID-19. Если мы не будем вкладывать значительные средства и усилия в то, чтобы сделать наш мир более устойчивым, каждая успешная борьба с одним бедствием будет знаменовать собой, к сожалению, лишь начало следующего бедствия. Как раз сейчас, когда мы все как никогда нуждаемся в коллективных действиях, поддержка глобального сотрудничества переживает критическое состояние. Во многих странах доверие общественности к традиционным институтам и международным структурам ослабевает, а отношения между странами находятся в напряженном состоянии. В этой связи хочу отметить вклад Узбекистана в наращивание усилий по системному и последовательному укреплению международного и регионального сотрудничества. В частности, хотелось бы подчеркнуть, что в последние годы Узбекистан все более активно сотрудничает и с женевскими структурами организации ООН. Будучи приверженным защите прав мигрантов, Узбекистан присоединился к Международной организации по миграции в 2018 году. Восстановлено сотрудничество Управлением Верховного комиссара по делам беженцев с особым вниманием на искоренение безгражданства. Укреплено сотрудничество с Всемирной организацией здравоохранения. Узбекистан ратифицировал ряд конвенций в сфере труда и укрепил связи с Международной организацией труда. Ускорилось партнерство с Европейской экономической комиссией ООН в области, в частности, статистических данных и охраны окружающей среды. Осуществляются новые проекты с конференцией ООН по торговле и развитию, ЮНКТАД. Кроме того, Узбекистан налаживает все более активное сотрудничество с Управлением Верховного комиссара ООН по правам человека и договорным органом по правам человека. Обладая уникальной экосистемой, Международная Женева с ее оперативным центром ООН и базой для многих организаций ООН служит международной платформой для множества заинтересованных сторон. И усиливающаяся роль Узбекистана в области международного сотрудничества и его приверженность Уставу ООН и целям устойчивого развития имеет огромное значение. Со своей стороны, хотела бы подчеркнуть приверженность ООН оказанию поддержки Узбекистану по всем аспектам текущей программы реформ, и в частности, в рамках принятой на днях дорожной карты по развитию сотрудничества с ООН и ее специализированными учреждениями с целью содействия развитию человеческого потенциала для всех, особенно для наиболее уязвимых и нуждающихся слоев общества. В заключение я хотела бы пригласить главу государства Узбекистан, уважаемого президента Мирзиёева, посетить Женеву и Институты Организации Объединенных Наций с целью наращивания еще более плодотворного сотрудничества. Я желаю всем участникам конференции очень плодотворных дискуссий и уверена, что вы внесете очень большой содержательный вклад в подготовку новых решений, связанных с реализацией программы по целям устойчивого развития и принятие решений, которые сделают наш мир более стабильным, более процветающим, более устойчивым. Спасибо за внимание. Катар Ахмат.
Спасибо, Татьяна Дмитриевна, прежде всего за ваше участие, за ваши прекрасные вступительные слова. Это очень важно, и за приглашение президента Республики Узбекистан господина Мирзиёева, я бы сказал, в центр мировой дипломатии, город Женеву. Спасибо за поздравления относительно принятия дорожной карты Узбекистана по сотрудничеству с Организацией Объединенных Наций. Эта дорожная карта состоит из 104 пунктов, 2/3 пункты, связанные с специализированными учреждениями ООН, расположенными именно в городе Женевы. Спасибо за теплые слова относительно демократических реформ, которые реализуются в Республику Узбекистан. Мы также со своей стороны приглашаем вас в очередной раз, чтобы вы сами воочию убедились о результатах тех реформ, которые происходят в Республике Узбекистан. Еще раз благодарю за ваше участие и за ваше приветствие. Muhtaram xalqaro anjuman ishtirokchilari, endigi qutlov so'zini Islom hamkorlik tashkilotining bosh kotibi doktor Yusuf bin Ahmed al Usaymin janobi oliylarini tabrigini Islom hamkorlik tashkiloti bosh kotibiyatining siyosiy masalalar bo'yicha departamentining rahbari elchi Ahmed Sarir janobi oliylari o'qib eshittiradi. Marhamat elchi janobi oliylari.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and good day to you all. I bring greetings and well wishes from His Excellency Dr. Yusuf A. Al-Othaymin, Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and I have the honor to convey his message. Excellencies, distinguished participants, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. It is a pleasure to convey few words on this important video conference on Uzbekistan and the UN, cooperation for achieving the SDGs, and I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I wish to express my sincere thanks to the government of the Republic of Uzbekistan for organizing this important event, and to Mr. Akmal Saidov, Director of the National Center of the Republic of Uzbekistan for Human Rights, for the kind invitation extended to me to participate. I applaud Uzbekistan for its constructive role at the United Nations since its membership in 1992. Its engagement is not only focused on bolstering international security and promoting the ideas of a nuclear-free world, but also most prominently on addressing the issues of sustainable development focused on environmental, social, and humanitarian concerns of the global humanity. Uzbekistan has been lauded as a success story in furthering the UN Millennium Development Goals. The achievements gained especially as a result of sustainable and people-oriented socio-economic reforms. Based on its history, the world has much to learn in Uzbekistan's approach in the implementation of the 17 global goals. The theme of today's video conference, Uzbekistan and the UN, Cooperation for Achieving the SDGs, is a pertinent and meaningful one in this regard. Uzbekistan is a member of the OIC to the cause of Islamic Ummah and the ideals of the organization. In its engagement with the OIC, Uzbekistan's predominance on sustainable development is well known. For example, in 2016, when Uzbekistan hosted the 43rd OIC Council of Foreign Ministers in Tashkent, the focus of the conference was on education and enlightenment as a path to peace and creativity. Under its chairmanship, Uzbekistan was determined for strengthening the role of OIC as an effective and strong forum, with special emphasis on the issues of strengthening the economic, scientific, and educational, cultural, and humanitarian potential of the organization. On this important occasion, may I take the opportunity to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to the President of Uzbekistan, His Excellency Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, and Prime Minister, His Excellency Mr. Abdullah Aripov, for their leadership in international engagement and promoting the welfare of the people of Uzbekistan. I wish the conference every success. I thank you.
Rahmat elchi Ahmed Sarab janobi oliylari, bizning nomimizdan Dr. Yusuf bin Ahmed Al-Usayminga minnatdorchiligimizni yetkazasiz. Ularning tabriklari va iliq so'zlari uchun haqiqatan ham biz to'g'ri ta'kidladingiz, 2016-yil kuzda Toshkentda Islom hamkorlik tashkiloti tashqi ishlar vazirlarining yig'ilishi bo'lib o'tgan edi. Shu yig'ilishda prezident Shavkat Miromonovich Mirziyoyev so'zlagan edi. Biz haqiqatan ham Islom hamkorlik tashkiloti bilan hamkorligimizni yuqori qadrlaymiz. Sizlarni ham mana bugungi forum ishtirokchilariga tilak va tabriklaringiz uchun minnatdorchilik bildiramiz. Muhtaram forum ishtirokchilari, mana biz anjumanimizning rasmiy kirish qismini yakunladik. Bizning anjumanning kun tartibida 3 ta seksiya doirasida ish olib boramiz. Birinchi sessiyada O'zbekiston va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti 28 yillik konstruktiv hamkorlik deb nomlanadi va mana bu sessiyani birinchi bo'lib ma'ruza uchun so'zni O'zbekiston Respublikasi Tashqi ishlar vaziri Komilov janobi oliylariga berishga ijozat berasizlar. Abduhafiz aka, marhamat.
Rahmat Muhtaram Akmal Khalmatovich. Dear Chairperson of the Senate, Ms. Narbayeva, it's a great pleasure for me to welcome today our distinguished participants at a solemn event to mark the signing of the Charter of the United Nations. I'd like to welcome First Deputy Under Secretary General of the United Nations, Director General of the United Nations Office in Geneva, Ms. Valovaya, and the Secretary General of the United Nations Special Advisor to the Secretary General on the commemoration of the United Nations 75th anniversary, Ms. Hochschild, Special Representative of the Secretary General for Central Asia and Head of the United Nations Regional Center for Preventive Diplomacy for Central Asia, Ms. Herman, ambassadors and representatives of diplomatic corps in Uzbekistan. Ladies and gentlemen, today's forum is the first in a series of discussions that we plan to hold throughout the year on the topic, the UN 75th anniversary 220 and beyond. It shows Uzbekistan's strong commitment to multilateral cooperation with the United Nations and its specialized agencies. The signing of the UN Charter 75 years ago laid a solid foundation for the modern world order, determined the progressive principles of international cooperation in the tackling global challenges to peace and security, sustainable development, and human rights. This historic document established the organization unique in its legitimacy and universality, and which today unites 193 states. The United Nations gives us the opportunity to consolidate efforts in addressing the most pressing issues affecting the interests of the whole humanity, as well as certain regions and nations. The current global crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and affecting the lives of millions of people around the world reaffirmed the importance of joining the efforts of the entire international community in countering the serious consequences of the spread of coronavirus for health systems and social and economic development. Under these circumstances, the leaders of the United Nations and its specialized agencies, programs, and funds in responding to the pandemic and delivering the assistance has once again demonstrated the effectiveness of multilateralism. Dear friends, the 28 years of constructive cooperation between Uzbekistan and the United Nations is filled with significant events.
Нет, десятистант это спасибо.
The initiative proposed by our country from the UN High Rostrum enjoyed the full support of the international community and significantly contributed to the strengthening the global non-proliferation regime, ensuring universal peace, stability, sustainable development, and regional solidarity. Among many, we could name the creation of the Central Asian Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone, UN Security Council Counter-Terrorism Committee, Central Asian Regional Information and Coordination Center for Combating the Illicit Trafficking of Narcotic Drugs, psychotropic substances, and their precursors. Over the years, Uzbekistan has played an important role in consolidating the efforts of the UN member states to put an end to the war in Afghanistan. As a result of these tireless efforts, the real opportunities have emerged for peaceful state building in Afghanistan, the recovery of its economy and social sphere. Ladies and gentlemen, our cooperation with the United Nations has intensified significantly in the last 3 years. The regular dialogue at the highest level has been established and maintained. The President of Uzbekistan, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, has recently met 3 times with the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres. Uzbekistan is firmly committed to achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The priorities laid in the strategy of action that is being implemented in our country in 2017-21 are fully consistent with the Sustainable Development Goals. As President of Uzbekistan, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev stated in his letter to the UN Secretary General, the 2 documents are united by the main principle: the human interests come first. On the initiative of the President of Uzbekistan, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, and solid support from the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, the Multi-Partner Trust Fund for Human Security for the RLC region was established in 2018. The fund has already attracted donor assistance in the amount of $10 million that has been allocated to the programs and projects in the RL region. We have high hopes that the fund will further deepen international cooperation in mitigating the RLC crisis. During the next UN General Assembly, Uzbekistan will table a draft resolution on declaring the RLC region a zone for environmental innovation and technology. The resolution aims to promote, with the assistance of the United Nations system, the introduction of environmentally friendly energy and water-saving technologies, encourage the research in further improvement of the environment, preserve the natural resources, and raise the quality of life of the population. The unanimous approval of the United General Assembly in 18 and 19 of 3 resolutions initiated by President of Uzbekistan, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on the issues of ensuring peace, stability, and sustainable development in Central Asia, enlightenment and religious tolerance, as well as development of regional tourism, is a clear recognition of the contribution of Uzbekistan to the UN activities. We don't intend to rest on our achievements. We are actively engaged in promoting the start of the negotiation process on the International Convention on the Rights of Youth. Candidature of Uzbekistan is presented to the UN Human Rights Council for the term 2021-23. This month, the government of Uzbekistan approved a comprehensive roadmap for development of cooperation with the United Nations and its specialized agencies, which covers a wide range of issues of multifaceted partnership. We hope for the active participation of the resident coordinator, Her Excellency Madam Helena Fraser, and the entire UN team in Uzbekistan in its implementation. Dear participants, we are convinced that the United Nations should continue to play a central coordinating role in international relations. The principles of Charter, the sovereign equality of all states, international cooperation, non-interference, refrainment from the threat of use of force, resolution of disputes by peaceful means, fully retain their relevance today. Uzbekistan is firmly committed to continue to contribute to the activities of the United Nations and strengthen close partnership with its specialized agencies as well as the member states in implementing the international agenda. And finally, dear friends, I'd like to thank all speakers, and especially for your kind words about Uzbekistan and for your support our economic, political, and social vital reforms in Uzbekistan. Thank you for your attention and for your cooperation. Thank you.
Rahmat Abdulaziz Hafizovich, nihoyatda mazmunli va keng ko'lamli ma'ruzangiz uchun. Haqiqatan ham O'zbekiston mustaqillik yillarida Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti juda ham hamkorligi yaxshi. Endi biz bugungi anjumanimizni moderatori Helena Frezer xonimdan kelishganmiz. Men milliy ma'ruzachilarga so'z beraman. Endi navbatdagi so'z berish navbatini Helena Frezer xonimga beraman. Marhamat Helena.
Rahmat. Thank you, and thank you very much, Mr. Foreign Minister Abdulaziz Kamilov, for your kind words of support for the work of the United Nations country team. And now I would like to pass the floor to Madame Natalia German, who's Special Representative of the Secretary General for Central Asia and Head of the United Nations Regional Center for Preventive Diplomacy in Central Asia. Appointed in September 2017, Madame German brings 25 years of experience in diplomacy in high-level government positions. The center that she leads works to strengthen regional and international cooperation for peace, stability, and sustainable development in Central Asia. And we are lucky and fortunate that Madame German is a true champion of sub-regional collaboration in our region, a great advocate for empowering youth, promoting gender equality, and advancing the SDGs. Over to you, Madame German.
Большое спасибо. Ваше превосходительство, госпожа председатель Сената Танзила Камаловна Нарбаева, Ваше превосходительство, господин министр иностранных дел Абдулазиз Хафизович Камилов, уважаемые коллеги, госпожа Балавая, господин Хуршилд, дорогие модераторы, профессор Саидов, госпожа Елена Фрейзер, дамы и господа, позвольте поблагодарить правительство Узбекистана в лице Министерства иностранных дел и Национального центра по правам человека за организацию и любезное приглашение принять участие в работе международной видеоконференции в честь 75-летия подписания Устава Организации Объединенных Наций. Ценности, которые были закреплены в Уставе ООН, остаются сегодня такими же актуальными. В настоящее время глобальных вызовов Организации Объединенных Наций нам нужна больше, чем когда бы то ни было прежде. Вот уже 28 лет независимый Узбекистан является полноправным членом Организации Объединенных Наций. Страна вносит свой важный вклад в усилия международного сообщества по сохранению и укреплению международного мира и безопасности, ядерного разоружения, смягчению негативных последствий изменения климата. Узбекистан является надежным партнером ООН, и организация намерена наращивать и укреплять данное партнерство. С 1993 года в стране действует представительство ООН, и на текущий период в Узбекистане стратегическая команда ООН под мудрым и чутким руководством постоянного координатора Елены Фрейзер представлена 14 агентствами, которые оказывают содействие правительству и народу Узбекистана в реализации приоритетных направлений устойчивого развития. Нынешняя стратегия действий Узбекистана на 2017-2021 год предусматривает осуществление реформ в политической, социально-экономической, судебно-правовой сферах жизнедеятельности страны в целях предоставления жителям все более широких возможностей по реализации своих основополагающих прав и свобод. Все эти области сходятся и созвучны с целями устойчивого развития до 2030 года. Правительством Узбекистана была проведена большая активная работа по презентации добровольного национального обзора Узбекистана по прогрессу в целях устойчивого развития на политическом форуме высокого уровня ООН в 2020 году. Действия руководства страны в данном направлении являются доказательством приверженности к выполнению обязательств в соответствии с резолюцией Генеральной Ассамблеи ООН, принятой на саммите Организации по устойчивому развитию в сентябре 2015 года. Высокая трибуна ООН продолжает служить платформой для ее государств-участников для выработки национальных и региональных решений с глобальным влиянием. Хотелось бы отметить последовательную политику Узбекистана по укреплению сотрудничества с государствами Центральной Азии. В этой связи подчеркиваю важность продолжения совместной деятельности во исполнение идей, озвученных в речи президента Узбекистана на 72-й сессии Генеральной Ассамблеи ООН в 2017 году. В рамках совместной работы в Самарканде в ноябре 2017 года под эгидой ООН была организована международная конференция высокого уровня по Центральной Азии с итоговыми предложениями, в том числе принятие специальной резолюции Генеральной Ассамблеи в поддержку усилий государств Центральной Азии по обеспечению безопасности и укреплению регионального сотрудничества. Президент Узбекистана господин Шавкат Мирамонович Мирзиёев также предложил регулярные консультации лидеров стран Центральной Азии. Таким образом, в июне 2018 года была принята историческая резолюция Генеральной Ассамблеи укрепления регионального и международного сотрудничества в целях обеспечения мира, стабильности и устойчивого развития в Центральной Азии. А в Астане в 2018 году и в Ташкенте в 2019 году уже состоялись плодотворные саммиты глав государств региона. Следующая встреча на высшем уровне пройдет в Кыргызстане в этом году. Уважаемые коллеги, позвольте также отметить активное взаимодействие Узбекистана в поиске взаимоприемлемых решений региональным вызовам и угрозам, также через платформу регионального центра ООН по превентивной дипломатии для Центральной Азии. Мы ценим постоянную поддержку, активное участие узбекской стороны в наших инициативах, включая в области реагирования на угрозы терроризма и экстремизма посредством выполнения совместного плана действий по реализации глобальной контртеррористической стратегии ООН. Также готовы развивать сотрудничество в использовании и управлении трансграничными водными ресурсами. И в этой связи выделяем и инициативу Узбекистана по объявлению региона Аральского моря зоной инноваций и технологий. Данная инициатива в полной мере отражает основные обязательства в рамках Парижского соглашения по изменению климата и плану действий, принятого по итогам саммита, проведенного по инициативе Генерального секретаря ООН в сентябре 2019 года. Отмечаем вовлечение женщин в усилия, нацеленные на предотвращение и урегулирование конфликтов в соответствии с резолюцией 1325 Совета безопасности ООН и повесткой дня «Женщины, мир и безопасность». Узбекистан также активно поддержал инициативу регионального центра «Академия превентивной дипломатии» в целях содействия трансграничному диалогу и культуры предотвращения среди молодежи в приграничных регионах Центральной Азии и Афганистана. И в соответствии с резолюцией 2250 Совета безопасности ООН о молодежи, мире и безопасности мы приветствуем предложение Узбекистана по разработке специальной конвенции ООН о правах молодежи. В период всемирной пандемии генеральный секретарь ООН Антонио Гутерреш в духе основных целей и принципов Устава ООН выступает с призывом к глобальному прекращению огня, укреплению сотрудничества, солидарности, взаимной поддержки для совместного преодоления данного вызова всему человечеству. И в этом контексте Узбекистан является примером для подражания в приверженности к целям организации, что подтверждается реальными действиями. В этот сложный период страна не только справляется с задачами по противодействию пандемии и смягчению социально-экономических последствий, но также в знак солидарности и поддержки направляет соседним странам всю необходимую гуманитарную помощь. Своевременные меры в данном направлении были высоко оценены генеральным секретарем ООН в своем недавнем послании, адресованном президенту Республики Узбекистан. Дамы и господа, в рамках нынешней программы преобразований система ООН стремится стать еще более эффективной, чтобы соответствовать целям и ожиданиям государств-членов в решении существующих и возникающих проблем в области мира, безопасности, прав человека, всестороннего развития. ООН вместе с заинтересованными региональными международными партнерами готова содействовать осуществлению намеченных правительствами и народами Центральной Азии приоритетов регионального сотрудничества и устойчивого развития. Мы высоко ценим тот факт, что Узбекистан ведет в этом направлении глубоко продуманную и проактивную политику, учитывающую естественное стремление народов стран Центральной Азии к миру и процветанию. Позвольте заверить, что Организация Объединенных Наций будет всегда поддерживать эти последовательные усилия. Благодарю вас за внимание.
Helena, подведете итоги? Rahmat Helena. Man German xonimga sizga juda ham katta minnatdorchilik bildiraman. Наталья, выражаю искреннюю признательность за ваше участие, за ваши прекрасные выступления. Действительно, мы придаем огромное значение сотрудничеству со всеми агентствами и подразделениями Организации Объединенных Наций, включая регионального центра по превентивной дипломатии. Спасибо за вашу поддержку начинаний и инициатив Узбекистана в различных направлениях сотрудничества Узбекистана с Организацией Объединенных Наций. Поэтому я думаю, что мы будем также вести такую активную политику Узбекистана во всех подразделениях ООН. Об этом очень убедительно сказал министр иностранных дел господин Камилов. Уважаемый muhtaram bugungi xalqaro forum ishtirokchilari, endi biz anjumanimizning ikkinchi sessiyasiga o'tamiz. Ikkinchi sessiya barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlarining 5 yilligiga bag'ishlanadi. Ya'ni barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlarida 5 yilga biz nimalarga erishdik? Mana shu O'zbekiston tomonidan ma'ruza bilan O'zbekiston Respublikasi Oliy Majlisi Senatining raisi Tanzila Narboyeva xonimga beraman. Marhamat, Tanzila Kamalovna.
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli Akmal Xalmatovich, Abdulaziz Hafizovich, qadrli Helena Freyzer xonim, Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining barcha rahbarlari. Eng avvalo, Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti nizomini qabul qilingan kuni bilan barchangizni samimiy tabriklayman. Xonimlar va janoblar, BMT bilan O'zbekiston Respublikasi o'rtasidagi hamkorlik doirasida bugun ham aytib o'tildi, barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlariga erishish qanchalik muhimligini hammamiz bilamiz. Shuning uchun ham O'zbekistonda BMT tomonidan tasdiqlangan barqaror rivojlanish sohasidagi 17 ta maqsadlarni bajarish uchun 169 ta vazifa va 206 ta milliy indikatorlar belgilangan. Ular O'zbekiston Respublikasining hamma taraqqiyot strategiyalari va dasturlarining 84% qamrab olgan va ijtimoiy-iqtisodiy loyihalar hamda qonunlarimizni shakllantirishda asosiy mezon bo'lib kelmoqda. Milliy maqsad va vazifalarni amaliyotga muvaffaqiyatli tatbiq etish uchun O'zbekiston Respublikasi bosh vaziri o'rinbosari rahbarligida muvofiqlashtiruvchi kengash tuzilgan. Hukumat tomonidan qabul qilingan tegishli yo'l xaritasi hayotga izchil tatbiq etilmoqda. Davlatimiz rahbari tashabbusi bilan barqaror rivojlantirish sohasidagi milliy maqsad va vazifalarning 2030-yilgacha bo'lgan davrda amalga oshirilishini nazorat qiladigan parlament komissiyasi ham tuzildi. Kecha bular to'g'risida Mirjana Spalarich Eger xonim o'zlarining bizning televideniyega bergan intervyusida aytib o'tildi. Shuning uchun Mirjana xonimga men minnatdorlik bildirmoqchiman. Parlament komissiyasining asosiy vazifalaridan biri bu barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlariga erishishda ijro hokimiyatining faoliyati samaradorligini oshirish, ushbu maqsadlar har bir hududda bajarilishini ta'minlashdan iborat. Bu yo'lda parlament komissiyasi muvofiqlashtiruvchi kengash faoliyatini to'liq qo'llab-quvvatlayapti, nazorat qilyapti va albatta ko'maklashyapti. Bugungi kunga kelib parlamentimiz barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlari doirasidagi hamma vazifalarni bajarilishini ta'minlash uchun qattiq ishlarga kirishgan. Muntazam ravishda parlament va jamoatchilik eshituvlari tashkil etilmoqda. Oldimizdagi vazifalar har birining ijrosi yuzasidan aniq manzilli chora-tadbirlarni amalga oshirmoqdamiz. Mavjud muammolarning yechimiga oid tavsiyalar ishlab chiqilmoqda va eng quyi bo'g'ingacha joylarga yetkazilmoqda. Barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlari doirasidagi sa'y-harakatlarimiz o'zining ijobiy natijalarini bugun ko'rsatmoqda. Bular yurtimiz aholisining ijtimoiy-iqtisodiy himoyalash ishlarida, kambag'allikka barham berish ishlarida, gender tenglikni, sifatli ta'limni, sog'lom turmush tarzini ta'minlash, tadbirkorlarimizni qo'llab-quvvatlash, atrof muhitni muhofaza qilish va qator boshqa sohalardagi ishlarimizning samarali natijalarida o'z aksini ham topmoqda. Hurmatli xonimlar, janoblar, barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlarining talablarini bajarish yuzasidan hozir bugun bir necha marotaba aytib o'tildi, ixtiyoriy milliy sharh tayyorlandi. Parlament ekspertizasidan o'tkazildi va jamoatchilik muhokamasidan ham o'tkazildi. Bunda BMTning O'zbekistondagi barcha ixtisoslashgan muassasalari faol qatnashdi. Shu yilning iyul oyida parlamentlar aro ittifoq bilan birgalikda o'tkaziladigan BMTning iqtisodiy va ijtimoiy kengashining ECOSOS yuksak darajadagi siyosiy forumida O'zbekistonning ixtiyoriy milliy sharhining ilk bor taqdimoti bo'lib o'tadi. Ushbu tadbir muvaffaqiyatli o'tkazilishiga mening ishonchim komil. Hurmatli bugungi anjuman ishtirokchilari, so'nggi yillarda mamlakatimizda qonun ustuvorligining kuchaytirilishi va sud huquq tizimini isloh qilish natijasida inson huquqlari va erkinliklarini himoyalashga imkoniyatlar yaratildi. Sud organlarining mustaqilligi ta'minlanmoqda. Siz ko'rib turibsiz, ochiqlik, oshkoralik va jamiyatimizdagi siyosiy faollik tobora ortmoqda. Partiyalar, fuqarolik jamiyati va ommaviy axborot vositalarining o'rni sezilarli darajada o'smoqda. Korrupsiyaga qarshi kurash to'g'risidagi qonun qabul qilindi. Davlat dasturi qabul qilindi. Mana shular borasida amaliy choralar ham ko'rilmoqda. Odam savdosi va majburiy mehnatga qarshi kurashish milliy komissiyasining xalqaro mehnat tashkiloti va boshqa xalqaro tashkilotlar bilan samarali hamkorligi natijasida mamlakatimizda bolalar mehnatiga va tizimli majburiy mehnatga barham berildi. Odam savdosi bilan bog'liq jinoyatlar keskin kamayib bormoqda. Respublikamiz siyosatidagi muhim yo'nalishlardan yana biri bu hozirgina Anna German xonim aytib o'tdilar, gender tenglikni ta'minlash masalasidir. Oliy Majlis Senatida gender komissiyasi tashkil qilindi. Xotin-qizlar va gender tenglik masalalari bo'yicha faoliyat ham yo'lga qo'yildi. O'tgan yili parlamentimiz tomonidan ikkita juda ham muhim qonunlar qabul qilindi. Bu xotin-qizlar va erkaklar uchun teng huquq hamda imkoniyatlar kafolatlari to'g'risidagi hamda xotin-qizlarni tazyiq va zo'ravonlikdan himoya qilish to'g'risidagi qonunlar. Gender tenglikni ta'minlash yuzasidan hozirgi kunda O'zbekistonning milliy strategiyasi ham ishlab chiqildi. Davlat miqyosida qarorlar qabul qilish jarayonida ayollarning ishtirokini kuchaytirish, ularni deputat, senator, vazir, hokim va elchi kabi mas'uliyatli lavozimlarga saylanishi va tasdiqlanishi ham mamlakatimizda xotin-qizlarga ko'rsatilayotgan yuksak e'tiborning namunasi bo'lib hisoblanyapti. Davlatimizning barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlariga erishish va xalqaro maydondagi nufuzini yaxshilash uchun O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti farmoni bilan parlament rahbarligida xalqaro reyting va indekslar bilan ishlash bo'yicha Respublika kengashi ham tashkil etildi. Kengashning asosiy vazifasi bu mamlakatimizning nafaqat respublika miqyosida, balki 14 ta hudud va barcha tarmoqlarida mazkur yo'nalishda olib borilayotgan ishlarning samaradorligini ta'minlashdan iboratdir. Xonimlar va janoblar, so'zim oxirida barqaror rivojlanish sohasida milliy maqsad va vazifalar doirasida belgilab olgan rejalarimizni BMT va uning barcha ixtisoslashgan muassasalari bilan hamkorlikda og'ishmay amalga oshiramiz deb o'z ishonchimni bildirmoqchiman. Chunki mamlakatimiz aholisi Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti faoliyatiga katta qiziqish bilan qaraydi. Tashkilotning bosh kotibi janob Antonio Guterres har bir tashabbusiga katta e'tibor bilan yondashadi. Bitta misol keltirmoqchiman. BMT bosh kotibi tomonidan e'lon qilingan kelajagimizni birga quramiz shiori ostida o'tkazilayotgan so'rovnomada aholimiz juda ham faol ishtirok etdi. Dunyo mamlakatlari miqyosida bugun biz 3-o'rinni egallabmiz. Fursatdan foydalanib, aholimizning ushbu tadbirda qatnashishini tashkil etishda yaqindan yordam bergan BMTning O'zbekistondagi doimiy vakili Helena Freyzer xonimga va ularning komandasiga yuragimizdan minnatdorchilik bildirmoqchiman. Hurmatli xonimlar va janoblar, mana shu qisqa ma'lumotlarni sizlarga yetkazmoqchi edim. E'tiboringiz uchun rahmat.
Katta rahmat. Thank you so much, Madam Tanzila Kamalovna, for your kind words of appreciation and for your leadership on strengthening the oversight of SDGs achievement by the Oli Majlis, and also your championship of gender equality and of the fight against trafficking in persons and the fight to eradicate child labor. The UN is very lucky to have a partner like you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to pass for a message from Mirjana Spoljaric-Egger, the Assistant Administrator of UNDP and Director of the UNDP Regional Bureau for Europe and the CIS. Madam Spoljaric-Egger witnessed firsthand the commitment of the government of Uzbekistan to the national SDGs during her visit last year in May 2019. During that visit, among other things, Madam Spoljaric-Egger led important discussions with partners, including the Minister of Finance, on financing Uzbekistan's national sustainable development goals. And we're very lucky now to have a message from Mirjana, which will be shown imminently. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Madam Tanzila Nazarbayeva, Chairperson of the Senate, Your Excellency, Mr. Akmal Saidov, First Deputy Speaker of the Legislative Chamber, Your Excellency, Mr. Abdulaziz Kamilov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uzbekistan, distinguished colleagues. Thank you for convening this important forum dedicated to the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. With just 10 years to go, we are all part of an ambitious effort to deliver on the 2030 agenda. By mobilizing more governments, civil society, businesses, and calling on all people to make the global goals their own. Uzbekistan's progress over the recent years and its commitment to achieve the SDGs at the national level is highly commendable. The adoption of the National Sustainable Development Goals and Targets in October 2018 and of national SDG indicators in March 2019 was an important step. Senior level commitments to the SDGs have been noted by the UN, including the increasing role of Parliament in the 2030 agenda, with a new bicameral parliamentary commission on the SDGs led by Madam Nazarbayeva. The upcoming voluntary national review will be another important moment to demonstrate Uzbekistan's progress against the 2030 agenda. I also want to applaud the determination to prioritize poverty reduction in the development agenda of Uzbekistan through social protection systems and implementation of a national poverty reduction strategy. UNDP is very proud to work closely with the Ministry for Economic Development and with the World Bank to minimize rates of poverty in the country. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, The COVID-19 pandemic hit at a time when the SDGs were gaining traction. The unprecedented crisis poses a serious threat to so many hard-won development gains. Worldwide, human development is on course to decline for the first time since the measurements began. In Uzbekistan, the pandemic has not only struck the health of the population, but is having a direct impact on the steady progress in poverty reduction, hitting hardest youth, women, elderly, those employed informally, and migrants. The crisis reconfirmed the criticality of ensuring equitable distribution of reform benefits in order to avoid the rise of vulnerabilities and especially inequalities in the country. In support of COVID-19 recovery, the United Nations has launched a socio-economic response framework where UNDP is the technical lead. The framework sets out a green, equitable baseline from which the world will be rebuilt. Within this framework and within the broader UN effort, UNDP swiftly deployed assistance to Uzbekistan to mitigate the socio-economic consequences of the pandemic. We are committed to continuing to support the government and the people in the months and years ahead. I would also like to reiterate UNDP's commitment to continue to work side by side with Uzbekistan to accelerate the implementation of the Agenda 2030 in the country. Distinguished colleagues, let the 75th anniversary of the United Nations remind us that we need collective action and trust in a better future more than ever. How we respond to this crisis at national levels will determine how fast the world recovers as a whole. We have to recover better, and we also have to recover greener to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and to ensure prosperity for all people and all parts of society. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Madam Spoljaric-Egger, and we very much appreciate the role and support of UNDP in the UN country team, and in particular UNDP's technical leadership in supporting the COVID-19 collective response of the UN system in Uzbekistan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to hand the floor to Madam Alana Armitage, the Director of UNFPA's Regional Office for Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Madam Armitage has worked to promote women's health, development and human rights for the past 25 years. She visited Uzbekistan in November last year for the International Forum on Strengthening Partnership on Gender and Youth Issues in the 21st Century. She's been a fantastic partner in promoting gender equality and aging issues in our region. Alana, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Helena. Excellencies, dear colleagues and friends, first let me send you warm greetings from UNFPA's regional office in Istanbul. It really is a true pleasure to join today's celebration of the United Nations 75th anniversary and the Uzbekistan UN roadmap to achieve Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals. On behalf of UNFPA, I would like to congratulate the government and the people of Uzbekistan for hosting this important reflection. And my sincere gratitude to Mrs. Narbayeva, Chairperson of the Senate, Mr. Akmal Saidov, First Deputy Speaker of the Legislative Chamber of the Oyli Majlis, and Mr. Abdul Aziz Kamilov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uzbekistan. I would also like to send my admiration to the UN country team in Uzbekistan under your able leadership, Helena. Ladies and gentlemen, today more than ever, we need global solidarity. The current COVID-19 pandemic has underlined the urgency of the SDGs. Sorry. Is there a technical issue? Helena, is there a technical
we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh, okay.
But we can hear you perfectly.
All right, now can you see me? I think now can you see me? I think it's just been turned off by now I'm there. Okay, wonderful. Well, you've heard everything I've said so far. That's good. All right, thank you. So I just go back to say that the current COVID-19 pandemic has really underlined the urgency of the Sustainable Development Goals. Far more than a health crisis, the pandemic is affecting societies and economies at their core. It's exacerbating and deepening inequalities that existed in our societies and exposing vulnerabilities in socioeconomic systems. And while the impact varies from country to country, the global turmoil that followed COVID-19 will most likely increase poverty and inequalities at a global scale. So we really must ensure that we keep the SDGs in sight while we respond to the urgent needs of the pandemic. As the UN Secretary General just outlined for us in his video message today, there couldn't be a more important time for we, the peoples of the United Nations, to come together. And our UN joint vision for the immediate socioeconomic response to the pandemic focuses on 5 interconnected streams: health systems, people, employment, macroeconomic policies, social cohesion, and community-led resilience. Of course, there are other mega trends to which the SG has called our attention and which are of particular importance in our region and in Uzbekistan, like climate change, population dynamics, and the ICT transformation. From the start of the pandemic, UNFPA has focused globally and in Uzbekistan on implementing the UN's vision and ensuring continuity of services in the core areas of our work, ensuring zero maternal deaths, ending gender-based violence and harmful practices, and ensuring universal access to family planning. In Uzbekistan, UNFPA's collaboration with the Gender Commission of the Senate under the able leadership of Madam Narbayeva has contributed to provide the much needed communication on prevention of gender-based violence, supporting women's centers and hotlines, and highlighting the importance of men's engagement in family life, as well as intergenerational dialogue. It has also helped to ensure continuity of maternal health, ensuring that rights and protection of the most vulnerable women and girls, older people, and people with disabilities have their protection needs met. So to conclude, Helena, I would like to congratulate Uzbekistan on the forward-looking plans during this decade for ambitious action. The socioeconomic reforms that are being implemented by the government of Uzbekistan are aimed at ensuring that no one is left behind and supporting gender equality and human rights, central to the transformative promise of the Agenda 2030 and the SDGs. And as you mentioned, I was able to witness some of these results during my visit to Uzbekistan last year. And I think that today's high-level meeting and the series of discussions planned for the coming months are great testimony to these efforts. I'm excited to see that during this decade of action, we will see the first ever national gender strategy fully implemented, women's leadership truly empowered, gender-based violence eliminated, and all people of Uzbekistan enjoying equal rights and freedoms in families and societies. I'm excited that during this decade, the country will have announced the results of its first population and housing census in 30 years. Policies and plans are increasingly driven by evidence and up-to-date data and understanding of population dynamics in support of sustainable social and economic development. And during this decade, we hope to see a new generation of empowered youth, especially young girls who will grow to be current and great future leaders, and most importantly, fulfill their potential. So these are our joint aspirations on the road towards the Sustainable Development Goals during this decade of action. And I am confident and would like to reiterate the support of the United Nations Population Fund to accompany the government and people of Uzbekistan on this journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alana, for your kind words of support and also for your continuous championship of gender equality issues, and also for noting the important commitment that Uzbekistan has made for the first housing and population census in 3 decades. This is truly a very important commitment, and the UN system is looking forward to supporting it. Akmal Holmatovic, I hand the floor back to you for session 3.
Rahmat Helena Fraser xonim. Endi siz menga so'z berdingiz. Mana milliy ma'ruzachi bo'lsam ham, chunki boshqa yo'l yo'q edi. Muhtaram anjuman ishtirokchilari, hozirgina xalqaro onlayn forum ishtirokchilariga O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti muhtaram Shavkat Mirziyoyevning yo'llagan murojaatlarida Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining 3 ustuvor maqsadlaridan biri inson huquqlarini himoya qilish va rag'batlantirish deb ta'kidladilar. Bu juda ham to'g'ri. Mana shu men qisqa o'zimni chiqishimda barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlarini inson huquqlari nuqtai nazaridan ko'rilishiga e'tiboringlarni qaratmoqchi edim. Men o'zimni qisqacha so'zimda 3 ta masalaga e'tiborni qaratmoqchiman. Birinchi masala, mana shu 75 yilda Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti inson huquqlari sohasida nimalarga erishdi? Ikkinchi masala, globallashuv va pandemiya davrida inson huquqlari sohasida Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti va jahon hamjamiyati oldida qanday tahdid va muammolar turibdi? Va nihoyat uchinchi masala bu O'zbekiston va Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining hamkorligida qanday ustuvor yo'nalishlar yoki strategiyalar mavjudligiga e'tiboringlarni qaratmoqchiman. Birinchi masala bo'yicha shuni ta'kidlash kerakki, 75 yil ichida inson huquqlari tarixida tubdan yangi bosqich boshlandi. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tuzilishi. Birinchi mana shunday katta natija, endi Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tuzilgandan keyin inson huquqlari bu davlatlarning faqat ichki ishi bo'lmay qoldi. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining ustavida belgilangandek, inson huquqlari bu xalqaro hamjamiyatning diqqat markazidagi masalalardan biriga aylandi. Undan tashqari aytish kerakki, mana shu 75 yil ichida Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti inson huquqlari sohasida 100 dan ortiq universal xalqaro shartnomalarni qabul qildi. Va hozirgi kunda xalqaro huquqning yangi bir mustaqil sohasi sifatida inson huquqlari bo'yicha xalqaro huquq rivojlanmoqda. Bu birinchi yirik natija. Ikkinchi yirik natija, Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tizimida inson huquqlarini himoya qilishning institutsional tizimi shakllandi. Bunga Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining ustav va shartnomaviy organlari kiradi. Va inson huquqlarini himoya qilish bilan maxsus mexanizmlar va protseduralar ham shu tizimga kiradi. Yana aytish kerakki, shu Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti 2011-yilda inson huquqlari bo'yicha ta'lim to'g'risidagi deklaratsiyani qabul qildi. Mana shu deklaratsiyani qabul qilishning tashabbuskorlaridan biri O'zbekiston bo'lib hisoblanadi. Uchinchidan aytish kerakki, mana shu uchinchi natija Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining faolligi bois inson huquqlarini himoya qilishning mintaqaviy tizimlari paydo bo'ldi. Yevropada, Afrikada, Amerikada nihoyatda rivojlangan mintaqaviy inson huquqlarini himoya qilish tizimi shakllandi. Afsuski, Osiyo qit'asida bunday himoya qilish tizimi mavjud emas. Shu bois O'zbekiston prezidenti janob Mirziyoyevning 2018-yil Samarqandda bo'lib o'tgan inson huquqlari bo'yicha Osiyo anjumani ishtirokchilariga yo'llagan murojaatlarida aytdilarki, Osiyo mintaqasida ham samarali inson huquqlari bo'yicha mintaqaviy tizimni yaratish taklifini olg'a surdilar. Bu diqqatga sazovor taklif deb hisoblayman. To'rtinchi natija shundan iboratki, mana bu qarang, har bir davlatda inson huquqlari bo'yicha milliy institutlar tizimi shakllandi. Hozirgi kunda global alyans deyiladi, inson huquqlari bo'yicha milliy institutlar global alyansida 114 ta institut ro'yxatdan o'tgan. Men o'ylaymanki, hozirgi kunda mana shu yo'nalish bo'yicha Parij prinsiplari qabul qilingan. Lekin hozirgi kun talablariga bu prinsiplar to'la javob bermaydi. Shuning uchun bizning taklifimiz shundan iboratki, inson huquqlari bo'yicha milliy institutlar faoliyati kodeksini qabul qilishni taklif etgan bo'lardik. Va nihoyat 5-nihoyatda yirik natija bu inson huquqlarini himoya qilishning nodavlat tizimi shakllandi. Ya'ni hozirgi kunda inson huquqlarini himoya qilish nafaqat davlat organlarining yoki xalqaro tashkilotlarning, balki fuqarolik jamiyati institutlarining ham vazifasiga aylandi. Faqatgina Ekososning ro'yxatida hozirgi kunda 5000 dan ortiq nodavlat tashkilotlari maslahat maqomiga ega. Shuni ta'kidlash kerakki, hozirgi kunda fuqarolik jamiyatining institutlarining ishtirokisiz inson huquqlarini himoya qilish mumkin emas. Mana shu meni fikrimcha 5 ta global natija mana shu 75 yilda erishdi. Endi ikkinchi masala, hozirgi kunda qanday katta shunday muammo va tahdidlar turibdi. Birinchi tahdid deb men aytardimki, ana shu inson huquqlarini himoya qilish tizimida bu Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tizimidan tortib to mintaqaviy xalqaro tashkilotlarga qadar juda ham o'zaro qaytarish hollari juda ham ko'p. Bu yerda masalan bittagina Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining maxsus ma'ruzachilarining soni 55 dan ortiq. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotida huquqni himoya qiladigan tashkilotlarning soni 150 dan ortiq ekan, hammasini sanab chiqsak. Bu kerakmi? Men o'ylaymanki, bunchalik emas. Mana bu yerda ikkinchi muammo kelib chiqadi. Hamma Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining 193 ta davlatlari mana shu sohadagi o'zining xalqaro majburiyatlarini to'la bajaryaptimi, yo'qmi? Afsuski, yo'q. Birinchidan juda ko'pgina xalqaro shartnomalar ratifikatsiya qilinmayapti. Hatto ratifikatsiya qilgan xalqaro shartnomalarni ham sidqidildan bajarish oxiriga yetkazilmayapti. Bu esa mana shu inson huquqlari sohasida Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti tizimidagi faoliyatni katta samara bermasligiga olib kelyapti. Va uchinchi ham katta muammo. Bu Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlariga hamma davlatlarda ham yetarlicha e'tibor berilmayapti hozirgi kunda ham. Bu ayniqsa 1000 yillikning rivojlanish maqsadlariga bo'lgan munosabatda ko'rish mumkin edi. 2000-yildan 2015-yilgacha amalga oshirilgan 1000 yillikning maqsadlarida ilg'or rivojlangan demokratik davlatlar ishtirok etmadi. Buni faqatgina rivojlangan mamlakatlarning ishi deb qabul qilindi. Barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlariga ham yetarlicha e'tibor bermaslikning salbiy oqibatlari COVID-19 hozirdagi pandemiya sharoitida yana bir marta namoyon bo'lyapti. Shuning uchun men o'ylaymanki, barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlari Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining barcha a'zolari uchun muhim ustuvor vazifa bo'lib qolishi mumkin. Endi uchinchi masala. O'zbekiston bilan Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotini inson huquqlari sohasidagi hamkorligi qanday bo'lishi kerak? Men aytishim kerakki, 1993-yil 25-iyunda Vena shahrida Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti shafeligida inson huquqlari bo'yicha umumjahon konferensiyasi bo'lib o'tdi va unda Vena deklaratsiyasi va harakatlar dasturi qabul qilindi. Mana shu dastur, mana shu ikkita hujjatda barcha Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining a'zo davlatlariga inson huquqlari bo'yicha milliy harakatlar rejasi ishlab chiqish tavsiya qilindi. O'sha vaqtda 97-yilda birinchi bo'lib Avstraliya davlati qabul qilgan edi. Hozirgi kunda 42 tami 43 ta davlatda shunday hujjat qabul qilingan. Mana bugun bizni matbuotda e'lon qilingan O'zbekiston Respublikasi prezidentining inson huquqlari bo'yicha O'zbekiston Respublikasining milliy strategiyasi qabul qilindi. Bu strategiya milliy faoliyatlar rejasidan anchagina keng. Milliy strategiyada bu farmonda tasdiqlandi. Milliy strategiyaning o'zi hajmi 27 ga yaqin, harakatlar yo'l xaritasi esa o'sha milliy faoliyat dasturi esa 40 ga yaqin. Va undan tashqari O'zbekiston fuqarolarida tushgan individual shikoyatlarni o'nni tashkilotlarda ko'rgandan keyin ularni O'zbekistonda muhokama qilish bo'yicha, ko'rib chiqish bo'yicha nizom ham imzolandi. Mana shu hujjatni milliy strategiya, nima aytardimki, bu O'zbekistonning barcha davlat organlari, fuqarolik jamiyati institutlari va bizning xalqaro hamkorlarimiz Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining O'zbekistondagi agentliklari Helena Fraser xonim rahbarligida, inson huquqlari bo'yicha oliy komissarning vakili, uning Markaziy Osiyodagi ofisi bo'lmuş Rishar Kamenda boshchiligidagi ofisi, OBS'ning Varshavadagi byurosi kabi xalqaro hamkorlar bilan, xalqaro ekspert tugushi bilan birgalikda biz ham milliy, ham xalqaro maslahatlashuvlar o'tkazildi. Bunda biz mana shu strategiyani tayyorlashda 3 ta manbaga tayyorlandik. Birinchi, milliy tajribamizga, ikkinchidan xalqaro ilg'or davlatlarning 40 dan ortiq davlatlarning tajribasiga va xalqaro universal tajribaga yoki standartlarga tayyorladik. Mana shuni natijasida bizdan qarang, mana shu muhokama juda ham keng bo'ldi. 6 oy davomida muhokama qilindi. Shunda 100 dan ortiq davlat organlari, nodavlat tashkilotlaridan 500 dan ortiq takliflar kelib tushdi. Biz aksariyatini qabul qildik. Xalqaro miqyosda esa milliy strategiya loyihasini biz Jenevada, Londonda, Moskva shaharlarida ham taqdimot etdik. Shu fursatdan foydalanib men sanab o'tgan barcha xalqaro hamkorlarimizga minnatdorchilik bildirmoqchiman. Aytish kerakki, mana bu haqiqatan ham milliy strategiya bizni xalqaro hamkorlar bilan birgalikdagi amaliy natijamiz deb baholagan bo'lardim. Prezident farmoni bilan 3 ta hujjat imzolandi. Farmondan tashqari milliy strategiya matni, yo'l xaritasi va o'sha bizni xalqaro tashkilotlardagi shikoyatlarni ko'rib chiqishni O'zbekistonda ko'rish to'g'risidagi nizom. Milliy strategiya 6 bo'limdan iborat. Yo'l xaritasi 5 yo'nalishdagi 78 ta tadbirlardan iborat. Mana bu qarang, milliy strategiya doirasida biz 8 ta xalqaro hujjatni ratifikatsiya qilishni mo'ljallayapmiz. 5 ta tubdan yangi kodeksni ishlab chiqarmoqchimiz. 7 ta kodeksning yangi tahririni, 10 dan ortiq yangi qonunlarni ishlab chiqarish rejalashtirilgan. Umumlab jamlab etganda hammasi bo'lib 98 ta hujjat qabul rejalashtiryapti. Shulardan 53 tasi normativ huquqiy hujjat bo'lib hisoblanadi. 37 tasi chora tadbirlar va 8 ta yana aytganimdek xalqaro ratifikatsiya. Bu ham Senat uchun, ham qonunchilik palatasi uchun katta qonun ijodkorlik faoliyati bo'lib hisoblanadi. Endi aytish kerakki, mana shu milliy strategiyada mana strategiyani bajarishning monitoring tizimi ko'rsatib berilgan. Buni milliy strategiyani bajarish bo'yicha 3 bosqichda monitoring qilinadi. Birinchi marotaba, masalan, parlamentda O'zbekistonning inson huquqlari bo'yicha xalqaro majburiyatlarni bajarishni nazorat qiluvchi, monitoring qiluvchi parlament komissiyasi tuziladi. Undan tashqari mana shu har bitta mana shu yo'l xaritasini bajarish bo'yicha har chorakda vazirlar mahkamasining rayosatida ko'rib chiqiladi. U yoki bu vazirlik tomonidan. Va uchinchisi mana shu inson huquqlari bo'yicha milliy markazga milliy strategiyani bajarish bo'yicha tahliliy ishlar olib borish va muntazam ravishda ham milliy ham xalqaro jamoatchilikni axborot berib yuborish va bu sohadagi xalqaro tajribaga oid kitoblarni tarjima qilish ham shu yerda kiritiladi. Bundan tashqari inson huquqlari ta'limiga juda ham katta e'tibor berildi. Mana endi barcha ta'lim muassasalariga inson huquqlari, ayollar huquqlari, bola huquqlari kabi o'quv dasturlari kiritiladi. Yana bitta narsa bu yerda aytdiki, prezidentimizning tashabbusi bilan har 2 yilda bir marta inson huquqlari bo'yicha Samarqand forumini o'tkazish rejalashtirilgan va bu yilgi biz Samarqand forumini 12-13 avgustda o'tkazishni rejalashtirganmiz. Nima uchun 12-13? 12 avgust Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining Bosh Assambleyasining qarori bilan Xalqaro yoshlar kuni deb e'lon qilingan. Mana shu kunda, mana shu yosh, chunki Samarqand forumining asosiy mavzui yoshlar huquqlari bo'lib hisoblanadi. Bilasizlarki, prezidentimiz o'sha birinchi marta ta'kidlandi, Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining Bosh Assambleyasining minbaridan Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining yoshlar huquqlari to'g'risida konvensiyasini qabul qilish tashabbuslari bilan chiqqanlar. Biz o'tgan yili 19-yil 7-8 oktyabrda Toshkent shahrida Islom hamkorlik tashkilotining inson huquqlari bo'yicha komissiyasining yillik majlisini o'tkazdik. Mana bu majlisda Islom hamkorlik tashkilotiga a'zo davlatlarning yoshlar huquqlari to'g'risidagi Toshkent deklaratsiyasini qabul qildik. Mana endi esa Samarqand forumida ham mana shu prezidentimiz tashabbusini qo'llab-quvvatlashni rejalashtiryapman va mana shu fursatdan foydalanib bugungi barcha anjuman forum ishtirokchilarini Samarqand forumiga taklif etib qolaman. Rejalarimiz juda ham ko'p. Eng asosiysi mana shu oldimizda turgan rejalarni ishchilik bilan amalga oshirishda hammamizga muvaffaqiyatlar tilayman. E'tiborlaringiz uchun rahmat.
Katta rahmat, and thank you very much for your important words about the collaboration between the UN family and the National Human Rights Center, as well as other partners, including the Ombudsman's Office, civil society groups, on human rights and in supporting Uzbekistan to meet its international human rights commitments. We very much value this partnership. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me pass the floor to Ms. Georgette Gagnon, the Director of Field Operations and Technical Cooperation Division of the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. Madame Gagnon is a lawyer in the field of international human rights law, and she leads OHCHR's 72 field presences, including having oversight of the Regional Office of Central Asia, which is based in Bishkek, and which supports all 5 countries of Central Asia. Madame Gagnon has 25 years of experience in the field of human rights in various countries and regions. The floor is yours.
Good evening. Thank you, everyone. And on behalf of Madame Bachelet, the High Commissioner for Human Rights, I bring her greetings to all of you. And we're very pleased to join this discussion today. We welcome the commitment of the government of Uzbekistan to implement the 2030 Agenda, including the establishment of an interagency coordination council to implement the national SDG roadmap, a very important step. Because they concern everyone, it is key that SDG implementation be inclusive and participative. In this regard, it is most encouraging that the Parliamentary Commission on SDGs and civil society, including national NGOs and youth, are actively involved in the promotion and implementation of the SDGs, including the preparation of the first voluntary national review, which has been spoken about here already. As we all know, and has been highlighted, the 2030 Agenda is explicitly grounded in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the international human rights treaties, and is informed by other instruments, such as the Declaration on the Right to Development. The wealth of information and support from the human rights mechanisms can and should feed into SDG planning, implementation, and monitoring. Following constructive dialogues with Uzbekistan in 2019 and 2020 at the reviews of its periodic reports to the Committee Against Torture, the Committee on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, and the Human Rights Committee, we are aware of the government's ongoing efforts to develop national action plans on how to implement the recommendations from these treaty bodies, many of which can, of course, inform SDG planning and implementation. We also note that on 22nd of June, the President approved the National Human Rights Strategy of Uzbekistan and a roadmap to its implementation. We know that our Regional Office for Central Asia, together with the OSCE office in Uzbekistan, provided technical support and shared a rich set of concrete recommendations to both documents. And of course, we encourage the government to refer to the provided recommendations also during implementation of the National Human Rights Strategy, as not all detailed recommendations could be fully incorporated into the final document. In view of the government's plans to adopt new laws relating to freedom of association, peaceful assembly, and freedom of religion and belief, setting up a process of open, inclusive, effective, and genuine consultations with rights holders will be as important as the final texts of these laws, which we have seen in many other circumstances. We are all aware of the government's plans to nationalize the SDG indicator 16.10.1. That's on verified cases of killing, kidnapping, enforced disappearance, arbitrary detention, and torture of journalists, associated media personnel, trade unionists, and human rights advocates in the previous 12 months. Our office is a custodian of this indicator, and its inclusion in the national SDG framework is another demonstration of the government's commitment to promote peaceful and inclusive society, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. The office also welcomes application of the Ombudsman Office for membership in the Global Alliance of National Human Rights Indicators, GANRI, SDG Indicator 16A1. And this, of course, calls for the existence of independent national human rights institutions in compliance with the Paris Principles. And this, nationalized by Uzbekistan, is an important aspiration and implementation of recommendations contained in the Capacity Assessment Report of the Ombudsman Office from March 19. And this is the best way to ensure compliance of the Ombudsman Office with the Paris Principles. We also welcome the strengthened mandate of that office that empowered the ombudsperson to conduct visits to places of deprivation of liberty, to prevent torture with participation of civil society. The transparent and fair selection of civil society representatives will be important to strengthen public confidence in the Ombuds Office's torture prevention monitoring work. And in closing, of course, we reiterate and highlight all the comments and concerns raised about the impact of COVID on socioeconomic situation and also on human rights. And we very much seek to work with the government, with our UN partners and others to address this very serious situation in the months and years ahead. Thank you again, Excellencies, government members, the UN, Ms. Fraser, and everyone for our engagement and your engagement in this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madame Gagnon, for joining us, and also a big thank you to your team in Bishkek and here in Tashkent, who have been such champions in supporting the UN country team's engagement on human rights issues and supporting the government's ambitions in this area. And now I pass to our final speaker, Mr. Zeynal Hajiev, the Regional Coordinator for Central Asia, Chief of Mission of IOM, the UN Migration Agency. Mr. Hajiev visited Uzbekistan in February, further strengthening cooperation between IOM and the government of Uzbekistan following the government's joining of the International Organization for Migration as a member state in November 2018. Mr. Hajiev helped us to establish a UN migration network in Uzbekistan so that we can better support the government's ambition to enhance the rights of migrants and enhance support for migrants and those families of migrants in Uzbekistan. Over to you, Zeynal.
Thank you very much, Helen. Hürmetli Tanzila Nurbayeva Hanım, Özbekistan Respublikası Oli Meclisi Senat Reisi, Janob Abdulaziz Komilov, Özbekistan Tashqi İşler Vaziri, hürmetli Professor Saidov, Qonunchilik Palatasi Spikerining birinchi o'rinbosari, Hürmetli Helena Hanım, BMT'nin doimi koordinatörü, hürmetli mehmanlar, hamkasblar, hanımlar ve canotlar. Let me start by thanking the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Human Rights Center of Uzbekistan, as well as the Office of the UN Resident Coordinator in Uzbekistan for inviting IUM to join this high-level online conference. It's a great privilege and honor for us to be here with you to share our vision on safe, orderly, and regular migration and our support towards the Uzbek government's aim to uphold the human rights of migrants. This is the third time IUM is joining a high-level human rights event held by our distinguished partners in Uzbekistan. In particular, we had a very productive participation at the first Asian Human Rights Forum held in Samarkand in 2018, where IUM also contributed to the inclusion of the rights of migrants into the Samarkand Declaration on Human Rights. Last year, we had another high-level international forum on gender, youth, and migration, jointly with the Gender Commission of Uzbekistan, chaired by Madam Narbayeva, and several other partners. Both events had demonstrated goodwill of Uzbekistan and its eagerness to strengthen both legal and institutional frameworks to protect human rights for everyone, as well as enhance cross-border cooperation in this field. And today, we are honored again to be here to discuss the way forward on fostering partnership between UN and Uzbekistan. The cooperation between IUM and Uzbekistan has been gradually expanding since 2015, culminating in November 2018, when the application of Uzbekistan for membership at IUM was approved by the IUM Council, making the country the 173rd member state of the organization. This membership, which officially started in March 2019, gave us solid ground to boost the mutual cooperation based on the needs and priorities of Uzbekistan. And we are happy that this cooperation is a human-centered one, focused at promoting safe and orderly migration for the benefit of all. Currently, we are about to launch a fully fledged IUM office in Tashkent. We thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Uzbekistan for this timely and effective coordination of the process. Using this opportunity, I would like to express my congratulations also to our Uzbek partners for developing and approving the National Human Rights Strategy, which amongst others also covers the rights of migrants and demonstrates implementation of the SDG principles of leaving no one behind. A lot has been said today about the impact of COVID crisis and the processes and the whole life of the country. That's what I'm not going to talk too much about that. Just want to emphasize that COVID-19 is not only a health crisis, it is not only the social economic crisis, but it is also the mobility crisis. We have witnessed that hundreds of thousands of migrants overnight were caught in the middle of their transit or in their destination countries without being deprived of the jobs, without being able to move because of the closure of borders, and that they became stranded and vulnerable. We immediately started providing support, assistance, including those Uzbek migrants, the migrants from other countries of the region. And of course, this assistance wouldn't be possible without cooperation with the governments. Thus, we have assisted directly over 2,500 migrants in Kazakhstan, in Russian Federation, like 500 of them from Uzbekistan. And I have to comment also on the efforts of Uzbek government to support its own nationals abroad who has been suffering from the COVID crisis. Particularly, I want to also express our gratitude to the government of Uzbekistan, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and others involved for providing a safe corridors for hundreds of Tajik migrants hit by their crisis to transport them from Kazakh-Uzbek border to the border with Tajikistan very recently. We believe in the age of unprecedented human mobility. where 1 in 7 of Earth's inhabitants is a migrant. The total number of migrants, both international and internal ones, raises beyond 1 billion now. The estimated number of international migrants is over 272 million, out of which almost 48% are women and almost 14% are children. Most of the international migrants, more than 150 million, travel for work, motivated by common dreams of better life and better future for their families. While the socioeconomic aspect of the major cause for international migration, there are other push and pull factors too, including security-related, political, environmental, demographic, to name a few. The age of globalization has been characterized by increasing economic disparities and also an increasingly interlinked world with ever-growing transport and communication needs, making travel information on work, remittances, and family contacts easier than ever before. It is this communication revolution that continues to fuel migration. We believe wholeheartedly that when properly managed, this can only be for the benefit of humanity. Although migration has been hit severely with the COVID crisis, but we believe that at some point, maybe not very soon, but the world will come back to the normal life, although the approach to the managing migration will require new approach also, where health aspects should be integrated fully into the border and migration management procedures. Migration has been an integral part of the human experience throughout the history, a source of prosperity, innovation, and sustainable development. Migrants help to meet the demand for labor and skills. They contribute to the tax base. They establish businesses to supply goods, services, and employment to host populations. And they create more vibrant, innovative societies, refreshing and rejuvenating cultures as they integrate. In financial terms alone, according to the World Bank, remittances totaled last year to $573 billion US. But there are a note of caution also to sound in this seemingly nice picture. Time and time again, we see that irregular migration fails to bring the socioeconomic benefits that well-planned migration can generate. Irregular migration, including that engendered by the heinous and horribly profitable crimes of human trafficking and people smuggling, places migrants in extreme peril with grave consequences for their human rights. And in this regard, I should commend the efforts of the government also by establishing also the Interministerial Commission on fighting the human trafficking and creating solid legislative regulatory framework for fighting this crime and assisting the suffered people, victims of trafficking. And these efforts will continue as IUM we stand there to support further the government of Uzbekistan in this endeavor. Migrants' rights are human rights. We need to ensure respect, protection, and fulfillment of the human rights of all migrants, regardless of their migration status. And as all countries pledged through the Sustainable Development Goals, ensuring that no one left behind. Speaking about the Sustainable Development Goals, I will not go to discuss too much about that, just highlight one specific the target, SDG target 10.7, that refers to migration and calls to facilitate orderly, safe, regular, and responsible migration and mobility of people. The same principles, the same target also is fully consistent with the Global Compact for Migration that was adopted in 2018 in Morocco, when the compact was also supported by the government of Uzbekistan. And now it is high time for implementation of the compact. The Global Compact is fully consistent with the development agenda for 2030. And along this agenda, the development agenda, this compact rests on the purposes and principles of the Charter of the United Nations. It also rests on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other UN human rights instruments, as well as a number of international agreed action agendas, frameworks, discussions, high-level dialogues, and forums. At the end of my speech, let me please express my sincere appreciation for the formed fruitful and constructive cooperation with the Republic of Uzbekistan and express our preparedness and eagerness to deepen this partnership for the benefit of all. Thank you for your attention. Kattar Rahmat.
Thank you so much, Zainal, for your positive words of cooperation and also for leading the strong engagement of IOM following Uzbekistan's joining the IOM back in 2018. Akmal Halmatovich, I pass the floor to you. I know that we're over time, so I suppose we should probably move towards wrapping up this excellent session now that we've heard from our key speakers. Over to you.
Rahmat, Fraser xonim, men sizni fikringizni to'la qo'llab-quvvatlayman. Haqiqatan ham mana 2 soatdan ortiq vaqt davomida biz nihoyatda ham qiziq, ham konstruktiv, ham g'oyalarga ko'p bo'lgan ko'pdan ko'p chiqishlarni eshitdik. Mani hisobim bo'yicha mana 15 ta notiq so'zga chiqdi. Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotining bosh kotibidan tortib O'zbekiston Respublikasi prezidentining murojaatigacha. Men o'ylaymanki, albatta bitta mana shunaqa global munozaralarda hamma masalalarni ko'rib chiqib ulgurmaymiz. Shuning uchun ham bizni tashabbus mana shunday munozaralarni tashkil etishni 4 bosqichda o'tkazishni rejalashtirganmiz. Bugun biz shunday global muhokamalarning birinchisini o'tkazdik. Ikkinchi mana shunday muhokamalarni iyul oyida, demak, mana shu barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlarining ijtimoiy sohasiga xalqaro mehnat tashkiloti bilan, Butunjahon sog'liqni saqlash hamda UNESCO tashkiloti bilan o'sha barqaror rivojlanish maqsadining mana shu 3 yo'nalishlarga e'tibor berish. Avgust oyida esa aholining turli himoyaga muhtoj qatlamlarining huquqlarini himoya qilish, xotin-qizlar, imkoniyati cheklangan shaxslar hamda bola huquqlarini himoya qilishga qaratilgan bitta yo'nalish. Va sentyabrdagi yakunlovchi 4-muzokaralarda esa mana shu ayniqsa barqaror rivojlanish maqsadlarining 16-maqsadi, ya'ni bu yerda odil sudlovga bo'lgan imkoniyat, umuman ham milliy, ham xalqaro munosabatlarda huquq ustuvorligini ta'minlashga qaratilgan masalalarni muhokama qilamiz. Shuning uchun men o'ylaymanki, bugun yakunlasak bo'ladi. Shuning uchun men avvalambor shu fursatdan foydalanib barcha ma'ruzachilarga samimiy minnatdorchilik bildirmoqchiman. Chunki ma'ruzachilar o'zlarining mavzulariga nihoyatda katta e'tibor bilan, nihoyatda katta mas'uliyat bilan yondashganlarini alohida e'tirof etishimiz kerak. Ikkinchidan, mana shu anjumanni tashkilotchilariga, ham milliy, ham xalqaro tashkilotchilarga minnatdorchilik bildirmoqchiman. Undan tashqari mana bugungi menga berilgan hozirdagi oxirgi ma'lumotlarda bizni bugungi forumda 140 dan ortiq ishtirokchilar qatnashishdi. 140 dan ortiq. Demak, bu mavzuga nafaqat O'zbekiston miqyosida, xalqaro miqyosda ham qiziqish nihoyatda katta ekanligini ko'rsatishmoqda. Yana bitta narsani aytmoqchi edimki, bugungi suhbatimizni nihoyatda samarali bo'lishiga katta hissa qo'shgan bizni tarjimonlarimizga alohida minnatdorchilik etmoqchiman. Bu yerda mana Alisher Hoshimov, Ahrorjon Asqarov, Malikaxon Po'latova, Ulug'bek Xudoyarovlarga men alohida minnatdorchilik etaman. Nihoyatda yuqori professional darajadagi muloqotni ta'minlab berishgani uchun. Endi mana pandemiya sharoitida oldin biz mana shu tarjimonlarga minnatdorchilik bilan tugatardik. Hozirgi kundagi anjumanlarimizda bu onlayn video konferensiya tariqasida bo'lgani uchun albatta biz texnik xodimlarimizga alohida minnatdorchilik bildirishimiz kerak. Bu Toshkentda bo'ladimi? Bu Nyu-Yorkda o'tirishibdimi? Jenevadami? Bishkekdami? qaysi shaharda Jiddadami, qaysi shaharda bo'lishidan qat'iy nazar bizning mana shunday ochiq muloqotimizni tashkil etgan barcha texnik xodimlarga minnatdorchilik bildirmoqchiman. Men so'zimning oxirida xayrlashmoqchi emasman. Keyingi mana shunday global muhokamalarda uchrashgunga qadar yana bir marta hammanglarni mana shu Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkiloti ustavini qabul qilinganligini 75 yilligi bilan tabriklayman. Hammaga sihat salomatlik. Keyingi munozaralarda uchrashgunga qadar xayr, sog' bo'linglar.
Katta rahmat.
Спасибо большое. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye. See you soon.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Alana.
Thank you.
Ah, hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
What's your presumption?